three gentlemen.
George. J'ai un micro ici, il y a la première question.
So we have two microphones in the room if anybody has the first question for the band.
Sure. Anyone?
I'll start, yeah. Guys, welcome to Montreal.
Thank you.
This tour's success isn't based solely on nostalgia, and I guess it's been proven last year with the great reviews you guys had for 13, as well as this year's Grammy. What do you feel has been the recipe for Black Sabbath to remain relevant now in 2014?
Don't know. Believe in what we do, I suppose. You know, we've always believed in what we play, and that's been it. Really. Coming up with good stuff, I suppose.
You said that this record was a surprise that it was so successful. Why do you think? Why was it a surprise? You guys didn't think that you were still relevant?
I don't think we thought about chart positions or selling stuff. We just wanted to do an album that we liked, and that was the main thing, because we tried before and we didn't really get into doing it, but this time it was really, we all enjoyed what we were doing. And as long as we liked the things, success was a bonus.
Thank you.
Next.
With years, is it becoming more difficult to be satisfied with the music that you write?
It comes when we got together. It came really easy. Before we tried to write before, and we just kept banging our heads against the wall. But this time, we knew we had to deliver an album, and we just let it go. You know, and Rick Rubin was a big help. He had a game plan of what he wanted us to be like, and so that was a plus on our side as well. You know, because usually you go in and you give your stuff to a producer, and he tells you what he thinks you want. We had a bit of that, Rick, but we actually had the destiny of the album in his hands, you know. Yeah, I think also we really enjoyed doing what we did, you know, writing the album. It was really good fun, and that it just flowed along really easily. It was really good.
Hello, guys. Montreal. Is there is there a chance that you guys will do a follow-up to 13, or we're not there yet?
We haven't discussed it, but I'm up for it.
Yeah.
It's funny, it's taken us all these years to do this, and finally we do one. Now everybody asks if we're going to do another one. But yeah, I think we'll be up for it.
Hi guys, thank you very much for being here. I have a question for you. Perhaps you could reflect a little bit on the influences that have shaped, musical influences that have shaped the music and the lyrics in 13, and whether there's any extreme metal or even heavy metal bands out there that count on you as their blueprints. Whether there's any of those extreme metal bands or new bands that you're listening to now that you might be able to recommend to us.
No. I think, you know, what we do, it comes from ourselves. What we do, we don't sort of listen to others and copy them and get influenced by much. I mean, we influence ourselves by what we've always done. And you try not to listen to too much anyway when you're writing albums, because you can pick up ideas and you don't want to do that.
Hi, Patrick from CBC Radio-Canada. I'd like to have your idea today of rock and roll and stardom. When you guys were 20, 30, 40, rock and roll was made of, we used to say sex, drugs, and fame if you had a chance to have a break, but being 65 today, what does it mean for you guys being a rock and roll star?
We survived. Yeah, it's different now. It's hot chocolate, vitamins, and go to bed early. Walk in the dog around the fucking block every night.
Guys, were you at all over here? Were you at all concerned about the way that the new songs on 13 would fit in with the old material during concerts?
Not at all. We had to like a song before we recorded. We don't do a song and go, oh, this is shit, we're going to record it anyway. You know, we did what we wanted to do, and we had the help of Rick Rubin to get to that point. Well, and a lot of it's up to other people as well to say to us, you know, that I can see where you're coming from. It's like Rick Rubin took us back to our first album, and he used that as a starting block. For a while, I was confused why he was going back to the first album, but then I got it. He liked the blues overtones to the first album, which he got on this 13 album.
Hi, questions for Ozzy. What does this mean in terms of your solo career? Are you going to do another Ozzy album? And if so, would you use Gus or
If there's enough years left.
Yeah.
I'm with Sabbath right now, so I haven't really thought of an Ozzy album at all. You know, but if it doesn't work out, I was sure I'll be doing another Ozzy album. But right now I'm with Black Sabbath, and that's what I'm about right now.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, over here, guys. Hi, how are you? Welcome to Montreal. I have a question for you, Ozzy. The drumming situation. You have Tommy Clufetos, who drums for you solo.
Yeah.
And he's on tour with you guys, but he wasn't on the album. So
yeah.
what's going to happen in the future on the album? Is it going to be him or?
I don't know. I can't answer the question because we haven't discussed whether we're going to do another album. But if we do another album, I don't know who's going to be drumming because Rick Rubin had his own set of people that he likes to work with. There wasn't anything wrong with Tommy, it's just that he didn't want to use him.
Okay, thank you.
Guys, with this tour, Ozzy being back as the frontman, I think that the three of you on stage have really come full circle in the past 35 some years. If tonight was to be the last show Black Sabbath would ever play, would there be any regrets?
Of course there'll be regrets.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we've had such great time, you know, since being back together these so many years now. We've had great fun, and these certainly the last 2 years since the album and touring and everything's been we've really enjoyed it, and it's been great being together on stage. You know, it's a really monumental thing to be able to, at our age, and still be alive to be able to do it. Except now I dropped it.
If you look at how you guys are today versus 35 years ago, whether it's on stage, backstage, even the relationship between the three of you, how badly have things changed?
We don't get stoned, we don't get drunk, we don't get smoke cigarettes, we don't do anything, we just say hi now and have a good show. You know?
What do you guys do for fun?
Masturbate.
Not each other.
Question for here on the left, on my left, your right, here. Question for Ozzy. How different it is, if there's a difference, being the frontman of Black Sabbath as your own man?
It's a completely different thing. I mean, Black Sabbath is a different thing completely to my own thing.
What's the difference? Because in your own show,
there's a difference in the music, there's a difference in my performance. It's a different, completely different thing. We're older.
Everybody starts back. Ready? Go. You know that.
Who does your hair, man? You guys look great.
Same person who does yours.
Yep, my name's
Guys, Patrick again. Are you guys nostalgic of anything?
Oh, I'm amazed I'm still alive, you know, all the fucking work shit I'll put through my body over the years. I'm now at the age of 65, I'm really enjoying my work, you know. And that's a highlight of my day, to do a great show every day. Whereas before I took smoke this and smoke this and wondered if I'd wake up the following morning, but now it's great, you know.
That was when it was 64, it was like that. When it was 65.
Yeah. So you have more fun today than you had before?
Sorry?
You have more fun today than you had before?
We've done we've had all the trappings of success. We've done all we liked each other, we loved each other, we've been back together again. It's great. Well, because when I departed from Black Sabbath, I didn't really feel that my job was finished anyway, because we ended in a bad place. And so now, if it was to end after tonight's show, I could say we ended it right, but I don't think it's going to end for a while. I hope not, anyway.
In the back catalog of the Black Sabbath, is there one song that you guys would love to play, but you've tried it out and did it come out pretty well? So
It's all right with me, I'd like to do.
Yeah? You tried it?
Well, yeah.
Who signed it since
Bill Ward.
Okay, so it was before he quit the band?
Yeah.
Okay, and is there another song, maybe you, Tony, that you tried but you didn't come out the way you wanted?
Well, we tried a lot, and they did come out the way we wanted, but you can only do so many in the set, you know, we already do 2 hours now. So it's always difficult to pick what you're going to play, because there's always somebody that goes, oh, you didn't play this, or you played that last time, but then if you don't play it, they go, oh, you never played that.
But I'm talking about personal favorites of yours.
Oh, I've got a load of personal favourites.
One that you cannot play because it doesn't sound right in 2014, but you wish you
I
could
wouldn't
play.
say any of them don't sound right. They all sound right, and
Even better? They could even sound better now than before?
Oh, that sound better. Yeah, we do play some sometimes if we're jamming around. We play some of the other songs, and they're good.
Cool, thank you.
Geezer?
Who's that?
Hello? Over here, Geezer.
Where?
Over here.
Oh, yeah. It's all right, I was asleep.
It's okay. You're my favorite bass player, hands down.
Mine.
Yeah, and Ozzy's. I wanted to ask you, you know, when you started playing bass, you had such a unique bass playing style. Who influenced you to play like
Jack
that?
Bruce.
Jack Bruce?
Yeah. I used to go and see the Cream, and I never even thought about bass players until I used to go, because I'd heard about Eric Clapton. I went to see the Cream, and Jack Bruce just totally blew me away. Stuff that he did on bass.
Any young guys playing bass now that you look at and go, wow, I can see where I might have shaped their style? Besides Scott Reeder, of course?
No.
Nobody?
No.
Thanks.
I think with bass players, it seems like they've lost the art of actual playing. You know, a lot of just one-note wonders, and where Geezer will play a lot of different stuff and bend the strings and make it really powerful. A lot of bass players from the last so many years have been just playing the notes as such. You know, they don't actually do any nice movements and feeling for it. That's my £10 worth anyway.
Thanks.
Question over here. Recording an album nowadays, I think a lot of studio trickery can be used. Were the songs off 13 hard to reproduce live on stage for you guys?
No, because Rick Rubin recorded 13 the same way the same manner as we recorded our first album, meaning that it was virtually live and it was going over the track. We didn't do too much. We didn't do any. Honestly, I don't think we didn't do any trickery. He just had to play. He'd go, you know, I was in the studio and he would go for 4 hours and he'd go, that's it, you can go home. And he knew when he got the right track, and all we did was maybe do a few overdubs, which we always used to do anyway. But we didn't do any bouncing or phasing or any of that stuff. The album was comparable to the first album, you know. Very quick, it could have been done a lot quicker as well, because he just, he knew what he wanted.
How do you feel about your How do you feel about your legacy and the impact you've had on so many bands for so many years? And how do you recognize that sound nowadays?
Well, when I was doing the Ozfest, bands would come to me and say, oh, Sabbath was our biggest influence. And I'd listen to them and go, where? And then there's other bands that go, wow, yeah, I can see it. It's like, just the fact that we've inspired young kids to get into a band and run and play, keep the music going. That's all. That's the biggest thing for me. I mean, whether it sounds like Sabbath or not, or we had influences. I'm just so happy and pleased that we got influenced young people to play music. Like.
A lot of people have tried to reproduce your sound, but do you recognize any like new artists who actually reproduce the spirit of what you came up with so many years ago?
Sometimes, and sometimes not. I mean, as I just said, some people would call me and go, "Your Sabbath was the biggest influence," and I couldn't go, "Fuck that! on about? I couldn't understand where they were saying that, but then others I could.
Guys over here. Okay. Does it make it a lot easier when you guys go into the studio to record your album? Does it make it a lot easier when you see, like, you look around the landscape and you see that, like, guys like the Rolling Stones are still going, your contemporaries, like, you know, you're not the only ones coming out with an album at your age?
I've always said that as long as we've got an audience and as long as people want to see us and we enjoy playing, I'll carry on. But if I wouldn't dwindle down to a nightclub in a back room somewhere just because I want, I just say call it a day. But you know, people say when you get to 60, people start to say the word retirement comes into every interview you do. And it's not a job. I don't have to get up and line up in a taxi to go to a factory somewhere. I love music. I love my lifestyle, and as long as people want to hear me do my stuff, it's fine.
I think it's nice as well that, you know, the Stones, like you mentioned, are out there touring, and some of the older bands are still doing it. It's great, really good.
Thank you. We have time for one more question. Anybody?
And what keeps it so much fun for you to still do that music?
It's what I live for. It's what I live for. It's the only thing I can do. You know, I can't do anything else.
It's what we were put on earth to do.
It's a good thing for us.
And for us.
Good thing for us. I think it's great that we can be able to go on stage and entertain so many people and enjoy it ourselves, you know, not just go on and go through the motions. We really do like what we do, and I say we're lucky to be able to still do it.
I mean, I had no idea in 1969 that we made our first album. I'll be sitting here 45 years later. I thought 2 albums, 3 albums, go back to the factories. But it's amazing how life can be surprising.
Yeah, not become blasé. When you do something for so long, sometimes you become blasé about it.
That alone is worth it, totally worth it for me. There's not many who last 45 years.
Thanks a lot for coming today. Before you guys go, I have Sophie from Universal Music Canada that'd like to present you guys with something.
Thank you.
$600 million.
I wish. Thank you. First of all, thank you very much for doing this for us guys. It was a great opportunity, and we really appreciate you taking the time. The album 13 was #1 in 13 countries around the world. Sold millions of albums across the planet. You got gold awards in 5 different countries and platinum in 4. And today, Universal Music Canada is pleased to present you with your 5th platinum award for the album 13. Congratulations.
Thank you, Canada.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.